Hello, good evening. We're live on the Trade Decorator Festival. Welcome to tonight's show. My guest this evening takes no introducing. I'm joined by the legend that is John Mears for a webinar on advertising for Facebook for decorators. I'm sure most of you know who John is, who are in here, and John is actually live with us this evening in the session. This evening's session is a little different from some of the others you may have attended. If you take a look down the right hand side, feel free to comment in the comments box. But this evening, what I'll be asking you to do is tap on that ask a question tab and type your questions in there for John as the session goes on, and he will answer your questions by giving you an answer back, typing it in the comments. So please, as you feel free, just type your questions in as you go along. If you are joining us over on Facebook this evening, welcome to the show. You can come over to the session by clicking on the link on Facebook and joining us on Crowdcast so that you can ask John questions as well if you wish to. So I think that's all the introduction you need from me, and let's get started with the show.
Right, here we go then. Facebook ads for decorators, presented by me, John Mears. We're going to go through everything you need to know about Facebook ads today. I'm hoping that we're going to teach you an awful lot about this. It's really going to benefit your business. We're going to go at it nice and quickly so that you don't have to waste loads of time listening to me waffle on and on. So, first things first, what we're going to try and get out of today. So, as I said, we're going to show you everything you need to know about Facebook ads, how to get them all set up and how to make it work for your business. Personally, I think Facebook ads is one of the best advertising tools you can have today for any business. I've been using it for a long time, and when you do it right, Facebook ads are an amazingly cheap way to hit a lot of people very quickly and get results that you can literally turn on and off like a tap. When we get these all set up for you, it's literally going to be on your phone. You'll get the advert ready and everything like that. And if you need some leads, you literally click one button on your phone, you turn that ad on, and bang, you'll get a stream of leads will start coming in, customers wanting to talk to you. That's the power of Facebook ads when you get it right. And that's what I want to show you how to be able to do that. So if you're up for that, if you're up for getting some results fast, ones that you can turn on and off as and when you need new customers and you need new leads, and if you want critically adverts that are going to attract the right source of people, then I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. As an added bonus, if you stick around to the end, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a trick, a technique that I use on my own Facebook ads, which just blows up your results. It is, as I say, it's Facebook ads on steroids, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do this, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it as well for your business. So stick around to the end and we'll go through that. Okay, so before we go any further then, why on earth would you listen to me about Facebook ads? Good question, glad you asked. So I have used Facebook ads for a long time now. I've spent a lot of money on them, a lot of my own money, a lot of the money of companies I've worked for in the past. I've used them across different industries. I've used them for customers, for my own business. I've done a lot of things wrong. I've made a lot of mistakes and I've learned from them. There is a lot of trial and error that goes into successful Facebook advertising. And I've been through that process. I've spent 10 years in sales and marketing. It's been my full-time job. I've done my 10,000 hours. That is, sales and marketing has been what I've lived and breathed for a long time now. So learning all the tricks and all the techniques and making those mistakes and learning from this is something that I've done. And what I want to do is pass that information on to you so that you can just skip that stage and go straight to where the money is and start earning money and start making a proper profit with your business. I've also got experience within this exact industry. So I have run adverts for paint, for painters and decorators, for exterior coatings companies. I've done it for a range of people all within this industry. So I'm talking from real life, up-to-date experience. I mean, I have several ads running right now, so I know exactly how it works today, and that is crucial because Facebook ads and the algorithm, the model and everything like that, and just the basic set of it can change on almost a daily basis. So everything I've got to tell you today is bang up to date. I'm using it on adverts that I personally use and spend my own money on right now, and I've also done it for decorating companies, and we've seen results of, as you can see, from as little as a £35 outlay, you can be earning thousands of pounds back. This is the beauty of owning a painting and decorating business like you do. You have a very high value sale. So a typical, obviously, decorating job, it's going to change from person to person, but let's say it's £500 to £1,000. So if you spend £35 on a 1 week Facebook ad campaign and you get even one job, that's a big result. If you get 2 jobs, you've got huge return on investments. And what I'm going to do is show you everything you need to know, and teach you about all the mistakes that people make and how to not do that, so that you can just go, right, I need some Facebook ads, I need to get them up and running today because I need some new leads, I want to get some new customers in and I want the right sort of customers. Bang, press the button, away you go. So that's a bit more about me. Like I said, I use it for myself, I use it for the company I work for, Andura Coatings, and I've used it for a number of different people across the years. So next up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about 3 of the most common misconceptions about Facebook ads, and I'm going to tell you why they're not true, and I'm going to teach you about how you can break down that myth and you can actually turn it on its head and start making it work. Because a lot of these things you'll have heard, you might even have these beliefs yourself. So let's start with myth number 1. Facebook ads are expensive. This is one of the more common things that people come to me with whenever they think about launching Facebook ad campaigns. They think you've got to spend hundreds and thousands of pounds to reach the right people, and it's really not the case. I routinely run adverts at £2 a day and see great results. £5 a day obviously gets even better results. I was literally on the phone to the Facebook marketing team. Once you start spending a certain amount of money with Facebook ads, you'll get allocated someone from their expert marketing team, and they will call you and talk to you about different ways to improve your ads and everything like that. So they were on the phone to me the other day, and they were telling me that £10 a day is a sweet spot for Facebook ads. How they work is Facebook ads go on like an auction basis. You're paying a certain amount to put your ad in front of the right people. So if you spend £2 a day, it'll put it in front of a certain amount of people. But if you spend £5 or £10 a day, and they say £10 is about the sweet spot, £10 a day, then it will put it in front of a lot of the right sort of people. A lot of the people that Facebook knows are likely to click on ads, are likely to buy things. So it's important that you get your spending right, but it's important to know that you don't have to spend as much as you think. It's not about spending hundreds of pounds. I'm talking £10 a day is probably the maximum I would say you need to spend. Personally, I do a lot of work in and around sort of £2.50 a day, and it brings in massive results. For that sort of money, you're still reaching thousands of people, and you can still be getting hundreds of people clicking on your advert and making inquiries. So don't feel that Facebook ads is going to cost a fortune. You can run it on a very low budget. In fact, when you're starting out, I recommend that you do run it on a low budget. I'm talking £2 a day, and start to tweak those adverts and make them better, and then once you start seeing the results, then you just naturally scale it up, and that's what it's all about. So don't get put off by the cost of Facebook ads. Honestly, it is probably the cheapest way at the moment. Pound for pound, I would say Facebook ads is the best way to hit a large but targeted audience. So, myth number 2, Facebook leads are rubbish. I hear this a lot, especially on the decorating forums and stuff like that. People will talk about Facebook ads is just, it's a waste of time because all leads that come from Facebook are rubbish. It's always Karen who wants you to paint her whole house for 50 quid. And if you can't do that, she's just going to get her nephew to do it anyway. It doesn't have to be like that. I mean, I've run adverts for £5 a day that have generated leads where the average sale value is £5,000–6,000. So you've got to remember that almost everybody is on Facebook, and that includes all of your wealthy friends, doctors, lawyers, whatever they might be. So there are people on Facebook that have got a lot of money and are prepared to spend that money, and there are a lot of people that value decorating as a service. It's all about targeting your ads correctly to make sure you hit those people. And there's a number of ways you can do that, but the easiest way is you've got to get very clear in your mind who is your ideal customer. What do they look like, and get into the mindset of who that person is. So if we take a typical example, let's say you're a sole trader, painter and decorator, you like doing a lot of residential work. Look at maybe your last 10, 20, 30 clients or whatever it might be. If you're a newer business, then think about the sort of people you want to work for. But if you're an established business, you'll know who your sort of customer is, and the more specific you can get, the better. A lot of people, they think when they put a Facebook ad out, they just want to get it in front of as many people as possible. When you start putting how much you want to spend in there, you'll put like £2 and it will say you'll reach a potential of 30 million people, and they think that's good. You don't want that. You want to narrow down your audience so that it says you're going to reach a potential audience of 100,000 people or 10,000 people or something like that, because then you know everyone you're paying to put that advert in front of is your sort of customer. So there are 3 main targeting options on Facebook that you need to get right. The first one is age. You can set an age demographic from 16 years to 65 plus, and don't be tempted to go, well, I've had some customers that are in their 20s and some customers that are in their 60s, so let's do the whole range. Like I say, get specific. Think about where does 80–90% of your business come from, and if 80 or 90% of your business and your best business, the customers that pay the most, that are easiest to work with, think about that. If most of that business comes from a very set range, like 55 to 64 years old, then set your range to that, because you're paying Facebook to put your adverts in front of people, and so you only want to pay to put it in front of the people that are most likely to be your best customers. And don't worry that if your audience says, oh, there's only 10,000 people that fit this criteria. That's great. That's exactly what you want. 10,000 people is still a lot. Don't go, oh, I want to put it in front of 30 million people, just in case. You'll end up hitting a lot of people that don't make sense. And that's when all the rubbish leads start coming in. It's because Facebook will just start going, right, who's clicking on this advert? And then you'll get some idiot clicked on it who doesn't understand the value of decorating. And then Facebook will go, oh, right, I'll target people like that. And then they'll start sending more people like that to you. So you want to get specific and targeted right from the start. So go for a narrow age range, 5–10 years. That's a really good starting point. The second main targeting feature for Facebook is gender, and you've got the option of male, female, both. I always find better results if I split it. So yes, it's frustrating because you'll look at it and go, oh, well, some of my customers are male and some are female. But think about who are the people seeing the adverts, who are the people clicking on the ad. So a lot of the time when I run adverts for paint or products like that, yes, we have a large database of female customers, but the vast majority are male. So I get better results if I just target my adverts at men. And you might find that your customers are predominantly female, so target just female. If you can split it just by gender, then immediately you're making your audience twice as targeted, and that's exactly what we're trying to do here. We're trying to make it as targeted as possible so that you're only putting your advert in front of the absolute perfect clients. So number 3, the third thing, and the third option when it comes to targeting, you've got age, you've got gender, and you've got location. So location again is a massive one, and you can choose to do the whole UK, you can choose certain postcodes, or you can essentially put a pin in the map and then set a radius. So you might want to put your own postcode in and then set a radius of 5, 10, 20 miles around that. Again, you've got to look at, can we make it more specific? You might go, yeah, but I'm willing to travel 30 miles to work if it's the right job. Well, if your perfect work is within 5 miles of your house, then that's what you need to target. And there are still going to be huge amounts of work available within that 5-mile radius. So again, make it narrow. The other thing you've got to consider is the best target area in and around where you live? Or do you find a lot of success in a neighbouring village or the next town along or something like that? If that's the case, then don't drop the pin on your address and set a radius around there. Drop a pin in the middle of that village, and then just target that village. Then you know that you're hitting a lot of the good quality leads. When I've done adverts for some of our exterior coatings companies, and these are high-end jobs. These are £5,000 to £10,000 jobs. So we've got to hit the right people. And although there is work in city centres and towns and stuff like that, most of the work happens out in the sticks where there's more wind, there's more driving rain. It's on coastal areas and stuff are very popular for the high-end, long life Andura coatings. So it made no sense for me to set a target in and around Leeds or something like that, because although that hits a lot of people, they're not really the right sort of people for us. What I'd do is I'd find an area of the map that's sort of in the middle of nowhere, because I know everyone in that radius on that section of the map, they live in the middle of nowhere, they've all got big country houses, and they're more likely to be the right sort of customer, the sort of people that we're looking for as a business. So you need to consider this as well. It might be that you don't run Facebook ads in your hometown. You might be just you'll individually run an ad in each different village around you or in the next city along, whatever it is. Think about where all your best customers live, and again, be as targeted as possible. Now, they're the 3 main targeting options you've got. You can then dive a lot deeper. You can get really quite granular. Facebook have hundreds and hundreds of data points on every customer. It's scary to a point. So it will also give you the options to look at people's incomes. You've got their hobbies, their interests, things like that. Now, personally, I find that I get just as good results if I just leave all of those off. I do the 3 main targeting options that we've just spoken about, and I just don't put any of the interests or anything like that. Now, that's me personally, and that's because I think basically set those main parameters and then let the Facebook algorithm do its work. What happens when you start a Facebook ad is over the first sort of 3 or 4 days, the algorithm will start working out who are the people that are clicking on this ad, and then it will start finding people like that, so that you'll start getting more clicks on your ad for less money. So I let the algorithm do the work for me, essentially. Now you can try and shortcut that and help it out a little bit, and that'd be when you start putting in interests and hobbies and things like that. And there are loads of details on here. You might want to go for, okay, my target customer, they're obviously doing home improvement work, so let's put in one of their hobbies and interests is home improvement. And then Facebook will go, right, all the customers that fit the 3 main targeting categories that you've already set up and have shown interest in other home improvement pages, adverts, that sort of thing. And don't think that when you say Facebook are going to go, they're basing this on like they've already clicked on home improvement adverts. The artificial intelligence, the algorithm on Facebook is insanely good. If you're scrolling through, it doesn't just track what you like and comment on and what videos you open. If you're scrolling through and you stop scrolling and you spend 5 seconds looking at a post, and then you scroll and look at a post for 1 second and then 2 seconds, it understands that as well. So if you're consistently spending longer looking at home improvement posts, even if you haven't even hit like or share or commented or anything like that, Facebook will still know that you are more interested in home improvement. So you can put details like that in. You can put all the hobbies and interests you think your typical customer might have: knitting, home improvement, gardening, watching telly, whatever it might be. If you're going to do that, Facebook tell me, and literally on the call the other day that I was talking about, they told me that 4 or 5 is about the perfect number. So you don't want to go overboard and put like 20 or 30 interests that they might have, because that just confuses things too much. So if you want to start putting hobbies and interests in to make your targeting even more granular, I would go with 4 or 5 interests, and that's it. But as I said, personally, I don't use that, and I get a lot of good results without it. So for you, maybe try both. Try without, try it with, see what happens. That's a lot of what Facebook ads and advertising in general is about. It's about testing and then refining and tweaking and continuously trying to make it better. Okay, so myth number 3: Facebook ads are complicated. No, they are not at all. So Facebook ads, if you want to set one up, it literally takes 5 minutes, if that. You can do it from your smartphone. All you need is just to have your Facebook business page set up. If you haven't already got one set up, get on your laptop and do that. Again, that will take you 15-20 minutes. There's a step-by-step process. It's about as user-friendly as this sort of thing can get. And then you can create the adverts straight from your phone. The other thing that you'll need to do is download, you can see the image on screen now, the Ads Manager app, and you'll link this to your phone, and it will look, hopefully you can see that, it's not coming up great, but you'll get this lovely little app on your phone that you can scroll through, and you can see all your ads, and you can see how many link clicks you're getting on them. You can see what the cost per click is, how much you've spent on them. You can turn them on and off at the click of a finger on here, and you can set up the ads from scratch, and it takes you through a step-by-step process. I recommend, if you're a bit nervous about it and you don't think you're very tech savvy or anything like that, sit down, have a think about what you want your advert to achieve. Think of a headline, think of the main body of text and an image, and that's all you need to get going. Once you have those 3 things and you've planned that out in your head, get onto the Facebook business page and click the ads icon, or download the Facebook Ads Manager app, which looks like that on screen. That's a free app, by the way, and you set it all up from there. It'll take you 5 minutes, and just set it up at £2 a day or something like that. Run it for a couple of days and see what happens. And once you start using the system, you'll find it very quickly becomes second nature. You'll know exactly how to do it. You'll get a lot more comfortable with it. One thing I will advise you to do is don't just hit boost post. This is something that comes up every time you put a new post on your Facebook page. It will go, do you want to boost this? And it will reach 10,000 people. Don't do that, because when you're creating a Facebook ad, you want to have an objective in mind, and you want to write it as an advert, and you want to create it from scratch, from the ground up, as an advert. Boosting posts will just burst it out to everybody, and that's not what we're looking for. We want to create an ad that is targeted to the right sort of people, and it's written to that specific person. So you've got to remember that although your ads are going to hit 10,000 people or more, then you've got to remember that it's still being read one person at a time, and it's on their phone. It's a very personal play, and if you don't believe that it's quite a personal thing, then ask the person sat next to you if you can have a look at their Facebook feed, and there'll be a little bit, nobody likes to share what's going on their phone and stuff like that. So it's a very personal place for your advert to pop up. So you've got to recognize that. And when you're writing your headlines and you're writing your sales text and you're choosing the image to put on your advert, it's got to speak directly to that person. Even simple things like using language, like saying the word you. It just says, are you looking for a new decorator? Are you looking to transform your home? Just using that word you will really help the person reading it connect and feel like that advert's been created and put in front of them, because it's for them exactly. And that's what you want. Okay, so they are not complicated. You can honestly, even if you didn't want to plan it out and you just had a quick go at it, you could learn how to set up and run and edit Facebook ads on your phone before you've spent £4 on ads. It's that simple to get going. So download that app, the Ads Manager app, follow the steps to connect it to your Facebook business page, and away you go. That's the best thing I can say about setting them up and getting going. Is it really is very user friendly. So just give it a go. It won't cost you much money, and it's the click of a button. You can literally just, if you want to stop spending on that advert, you just click deactivate, and that's it, job done. If you really get stuck, you can always feel free to reach out to me and I'll help you. johnmearsblogs@gmail.com. I'll probably put that at the end of the show for you. So now we're getting towards the end, and I promised you Facebook ads on steroids. This is something that I do, and you just get so much more for your money. It is unreal. So the first thing you need to do is you need to set up something that's called a lead magnet. Now, a lead magnet is something that you create, which you then give away, but it's for your target customers. So I'll tell you the example of the one that I use, and then you'll be able to think about it and turn it into your own version. So I have two main ads running for my book. There is one which is an article called 22 Marketing Tips for Painters and Decorators. Now, this is a free blog, a free article, and I've got an advert running on it, and that just goes out and people click on it, read the article, and done. There's no sell in there, there's no nothing. This is just, here's a free bit of information for you. Now, when you set up a Facebook ad, it will tell you, once it starts running, it will tell you how much money is being spent per person that clicks on your ad. And that is your cost per click, and that's something that is on the app that we talked about, and it's something that you need to keep an eye on to make sure that your ads are performing well. Now, typically, an advert will usually cost you about 50p to £1 per click. Good adverts will be 20p to 50p per click. Anything under 10p per click is a very, very good advert, and literally I've had 2 or 3 ever. But this advert, which is a lead magnet, which is just that free article, 22 marketing tips for painters and decorators, that's running at an average of about 2.4 pence per click. And it's so effective because it's an article written specifically for decorators, and it's about marketing for decorators. So it's attracting the exact type of person that I want to talk to. But I'm just giving them free information. I'm not trying to sell them anything at this point. So loads of people just click on it, take the free information and go. And you might think, well, that's a silly thing to do. But what you do next is then you'll run the second ad. So remember, the first ad is just getting the right sort of people to click and go onto my website and read an article. You then run a second ad using something called a Facebook pixel. Now, this is a little bit more complicated to set up, but if you go to Facebook, literally just Google Facebook pixel, and the top link will just take you straight in, and it will give you a step-by-step guide to build this pixel and install it on your website. If you can't do it, if you've got a web guy that can help, then ask them to do it, because this is insanely useful. So you put the Facebook pixel on, and what that does is that tracks everybody that goes to your website, and then you can use this Facebook pixel when you're running your ad. So my second ad is selling my book, and what it does is it targets only the people that have visited my website. And of course, the people that have visited my website are the people that clicked on the ad. I clicked on my other ad, 22 marketing tips for painters and decorators. So all these painters and decorators that are interested in marketing are going to my website, and then I run a second ad which retargets just those people. So you may have even seen it. You might have clicked on one of my ads, and then for the next couple of days you kept seeing adverts about my book. That's exactly what it is. It's what happened. You'll have seen it a million times. You go on a website and you start looking at whatever it is, paintbrushes or kettles or whatever it might be, and then for the next couple of days every advert you see on your social media feed is about that. That's a retargeting ad. But it's the combination of the two things. It's taking that free piece of content, what we call a lead magnet, putting that on your website, using that to drive the right sort of people to your website, and then running a second ad that targets just those people. So you're not doing the whole targeting locations and genders and everything like that. You're literally just targeting the people that have gone onto this ad. So as a decorator, you could write an article. In fact, go to my website, jmears.co.uk. There's some lead magnets you can use on there already. What did I do the other day? It's 7 tips to save money when hiring a decorator. Think of information that your customer might want to know. They might want to know, like, you could write a quick article on your website that's like 5 signs the exterior of your property needs to be looked at, or 5 reasons to regularly maintain your timber window frames, or something like that. Think about what your customers might be looking for. It might be color trends. Color trends 2021. You pop up, or they see your advert for an article about color trends 2021, and they go, oh yeah, I'm interested in that. Click on it. Well, if they're looking at color trends for interior paints, they're probably interested in getting a decorator. So they click in there, go onto your website, and then you do a retargeting ad to try and hit all of those people. Now, yes, it's a little bit more complicated, but the results are massive. On average, it's 3.2 times more successful than standard campaigns. So for every 1 lead you get from a normal Facebook campaign, you'll get 3.2 leads from a retargeting campaign. So really consider it. setting up the Facebook pixel, yes, it's a little bit more difficult, but if you've got a web support team or anything like that, they'll be able to set it up for you. In fairness, most people, I'm not overly tech savvy, and it took me, probably half an hour to set it up, just following the step-by-step guides. And then you can, when you're setting up your adverts, as you were originally using the app, you'll go to set up your adverts, and it will go, do you want to use your Facebook pixel on this ad? And you just click yes, and that's your audience. Your audience is then all the data from the pixel, which is all the people that have been looking at your website because they went there to look at Colour Trends 2021 or whatever your free article was that attracts the right sort of customers. Now, there's an extra little bonus on this. You can also try and capture their email addresses. This is a little bit off Facebook ads, but while we're here, it's a really useful thing to do. So when people visit your website because they've looked at your lead magnet, they've clicked on the advert for your lead magnet and gone to your website, at the bottom of the article, just put something where people can sign up to your mailing list. If you don't already have a mailing list, go to an email service provider. MailChimp is a really good one. Spent M-A-I-L Chimp. That's who I use, and they will give you a free account for up to 2,000 subscribers. You literally put a little box on your website that says, sign up to my newsletter here. Put that at the bottom of your article, and everyone that signs up, you then can advertise to those guys for free as much as you want. So you wouldn't even have to use the Facebook retargeting pixel. You could literally just write the article, attract people to that article, and then at the bottom ask them for their email address, and everyone that puts their email address in, you can then send them emails afterwards saying, hey, you read my article on Colour Trends 2021, here's something else that I think might be useful for you. By the way, if you're interested in decorating, I've got some XYZ dates available. So that's another way of capturing the information, and that's really important because having a list of email addresses is invaluable to any business, because it means that whatever Facebook or Google or anything decide to do, that Facebook might decide tomorrow prices of adverts are going to double, in which case it might not be as effective for your business. But if you've got a list of email addresses, you can keep emailing that list for free and trying to get continuous work from them. But that's a topic for another time. Maybe we'll do email marketing on another webinar. So that is everything. I hope you've got some information from that you can go away and implement it now. I hope you'll give Facebook ads a chance, because honestly, they work for almost every sort of business. Painters and decorators, they definitely work for, because I've seen it happen. They're easy and quick to set up. You can turn them on and off as and when you need them. And remember that little trick: if you want to run two ads side by side, one to pull people into your website and one to retarget, that is an amazing way of sending ads to the right sort of people and getting business, and just turning it off and on when you want new business and when you're fully booked. I hope this has helped. I hope you'll give it a go. Any questions? This is a pre-record, but if you've got any questions, start putting them in the boxes now in the comments, and I will respond to everything. And if you ever want to contact me direct, go to johnmearsblogs@gmail.com. You can email me there, and I will definitely get back to you. Also, if you want an extra little bonus on for this, if you go to my website, jamemears.co.uk/ebook, you can put your email address in, and I will send you a 60-page ebook all about marketing tips for decorators. It's called 7 Marketing Tips Guaranteed to Grow Your Business. Put your email address in, it will get sent automatically to you. 60 pages, it will take you about half an hour or so to read, but this is 7 of my best marketing tips that you can implement to your business straight away, and it's absolutely free, so just go and do that. Okay, thank you very much again. Cheers guys, bye bye.